I was going to say, I think that from what you're talking about is, and I think the crux of the conversation for most people, including yourself, is what do you want people, excuse me, what are you forcing people to do and what do people themselves want to do? I think, I won't lie, people like myself, dude, I don't have to go outside. I work from home. I've worked from home for over a year. You know what I mean? I have a dog and I walk him and I can have everything else I need delivered. So I'm in a very privileged spot where I can choose to say, hey, I don't need to go out. I don't have to go out and everything like that. But the reality is, go ahead.
For the record, I'm in the same position.
Yeah.
As far as staying home and working from home, and so that's good that we at least we meet on that playing field. So go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, so I don't want to get accused of it, and to some degree it would be true. It's like I can say shit like, "Oh yeah, everybody should stay home," because I'm not losing my job to do it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to. I want to be aware that there are people who economically need to leave their house. You know what I mean? And those people, they need to be safe, and so they have to do certain things. So I think that there's a balance that needs to be struck on the freedoms of America and the safety of American people. And so the problem is we were consistently saying to people, if you're scared, if you don't want to catch it, stuff like that, nobody's forcing you to go anywhere. It was like, well, that's not entirely true. If you have to go to work, you have to do things, you know what I mean? You do have to go some places. And so then we have to just talk about what we actually expect people to do. And so I'm fine with it not being mandated to wear masks if I believe that people are actually going to wear masks. And here in Miami, it's finally started to turn. People are starting to wear masks here in Miami now. But Miami was the hotbed of the world for a hot minute there of everybody getting COVID. And I believed it because I could look out my window and see just gangs of people just hanging out and doing everything and not taking any kind of pandemic precautions into account. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, but we don't either.
Who's that? You don't have to name names. I'm just saying, like,
no, any of us that train what we train.
Yeah, and again, like I was saying, I think you're allowed to do that. That's something that you, as people, as full-blown American adult males or females and everybody else, you're allowed to do. I'm just saying that it's something that each person has to balance for themselves. And my concern is that when people like yourselves, you do take it into your own hands. You're like, we do what we want, and that's fine. But then somebody who has to leave to go do something can be at risk as well. So I think there needs to be a better balance struck, and I don't know what that is. I'm not going to say I have an answer for that. Like I said, for me, I wear a mask and I don't really go anywhere just on the chance of keeping people I have around me safe. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, that's the common other side to. I think there's a balance. I think that you need people that are willing to rebel. You know, I mean it, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like
controlled rebellion. You don't mean like burning shit. I got you.
Yeah, right. I mean like in specifically little things like I think me not wearing a mask and having the right to just not wear one because I don't want to transcends like if you want to wear one, wear one. I'm not mad at you. Whatever. This is America. You can wear one if you want one. But remember, it's America. And it's like, I can't be forced to wear something I don't want to wear. And I guess technically, private businesses could be like, well, hey, it's private business. We're not going to serve you. And I guess fine, that's fine. You know, I have to respect that too. There's the other side. But the government can't be doing that. You know, private businesses probably have their way, you know, because just like, you know, for an example, I don't want to be, you know, hypocritical. It's like when that Christian bakery or whatever didn't want to make the cake for the gay couple.
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself a Christian, but obviously, you know where I stand on that stuff. I'm totally fine with it. I think a grown adult should love who they want. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't think that the bakery should be forced to, you know, there's not to mention that they had been serving that person for years, knowing that they were gay. It was just that the specific marriage thing they weren't. So anyway, not to bring that into this, I don't want to be hypocritical, meaning that I want to maintain a consistency in my thoughts.
No, I get you.
And so just like they have that right to not do that, agree or not, they can have that right to not serve me, agree or not, right? Mm-hmm. But that's totally fine. But the government cannot mandate, dude. They cannot. I don't. That's just. And so my point was, you need people like me that keep that in mind for the rest of us that are maybe not thinking of that way and saying, hey, I'm just trying to protect everybody around me, or But me, I think that I'm maintaining my right as an American, and you're right. I'm fighting for, like you fought for our rights, in the military, but we're
I
all,
played dress up for your rights. I didn't fight anybody.
we could talk about that too. I got thoughts on that, the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
military and things like that. But but regardless, I respect the fact that you served.
Mm.
So, but every citizen has a duty, not military or not, has a duty to protect our and generations to come's freedoms. I really
So
believe that.
no, and I know you do, and I'm like I said, we've known each other for a while. So even on the disagreements we have, I know you're a man of principle, which I respect. You know what I mean? So I guess my question to you, and I mean this in not like a baity way, I really want to know your answer on this. Where does that line between protecting the people and the rights of the people, where do we go with that? Because again, and the reason I bring that up in this specific situation is because we're talking about something that is a public health issue. So while you're not wearing a mask is your right to not wear a mask, at the same time it can, I don't want to say infringe on somebody else's right, but it can put somebody else in danger potentially if you caught COVID and spread it or something like that. So where do those two lines merge? Where do we get to? Governments can't control us too much because we don't want to be in a place of tyranny or anything like that. But at the same time, where we're actually protecting our neighbors and things like that. Where do you think that balance is?
So, do you know that quote from Ben Franklin?
I do. I almost said it, but somebody corrected me recently, said that Ben Franklin may have not actually said that. Like somebody said it. It's definitely a real quote, but it may not have been Ben Franklin. It may just have been attributed to him.
Which one do you think I'm going to say?
The men who are something about trading security for freedom or freedom for security.
Yeah. So I totally believe that, man, and it's really true because this could deviate. I think I think you and I are good at keeping things on pace, but are on the same subject. But this could deviate. I don't know, between like the globalists and all the that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? There's all of that too, right? And so we have to we can't be naive to think that America is not impenetrable. Like, okay, so you got Russia, you got China, you got Iran, you got the internet. No one's going to fight us kinetically. No one. We just spent $2 trillion or whatever on our military. No one could beat us militarily. We just started the Space Force. So the Chinese and all these people, they're going to just do things like on social media. It's even Lincoln said, we will, if we falter, it's from within, right? Like something like that. And it's because united we stand, divided we fall. All these basic principles stand true. And so if you have a communist regime that is skilled, it's their mastery to do this, to persuade masses of people with propaganda and all these things, and generations of kids, and look at North Korea. The stuff works, and we can't be naive to say that this can't happen in America, and it starts with little things, and that's why they want to take the Second Amendment away, you know what I mean, or regulate it to the point where it's just impossible, you know what I mean. So I think that it's our duty to hold the government in check, because don't forget, like you said, where do we draw that line? We draw that line, not the government. We are the government. People have forgotten because the rhetoric has changed. It's like our leaders. Hold on. Technically, we're the leaders. You know what I mean? Like we elect them to represent their constituencies around the country, which everybody thinks different around the country. If this was Europe, we'd have 50-something different countries, not states. You know what I mean?